Hello, friends of Komodo platform. I'm Giuliano. It is 1st of November. I'll be gone till November. Well, I'm here now. It is November 1st of November. And I'm going to share the price charts with you. I'm going to do a bit of a walk around some charts. We're in November. So we check with the Bitcoin price chart. I hope you're doing well. It's, what is going on here? These are just different ideas, playing with ideas and stuff. We'll chat maybe this kind of thing later. But just right now, yeah, we're just going through like what the local situation looks like. We look at start with a monthly time frame. And yeah, what do we have here? We have quite the movement. That's right. Bitcoin price chart, you know, has closed highest monthly candle in October. So here we are in November. Let's go into the weekly price chart. This is the previous week right here. And we come into this week. Today's Monday, so we'll just look at the daily really to look at it. But nice candle closing. We'll see what it means though. It doesn't mean any direction particularly. It just means that there's a lot of volatility within the week. We go into the daily, we can bring back some of these indicators and start saying, all right, okay. If you didn't notice, we had broken quickly, violently through the downtrending resistance. Now it's support. Nice candles, all closing above the rectangle here we've got. So this rectangle is definitely holding a lot of significance. This upper band here is showing good support on the previous two daily candles. Today's candle of 01 NOV 21, and then here of the 31 Oct 21 of the day before. We had some price action inside, and there you go. Like we're closing nicely, and we'll see how this turns out by the end of the day. It's just about 1800, or sorry, 8 p.m. UTC, 2000. All right, there's your BTC on the daily. And so yeah, respect to this box, even with the lows here on 28 Oct 21. All right, so we go to a 4-hour time frame and see what's happening. Interesting, we had again this ABC type pattern and trying to break out. Once again, we have this ability to check some sort of B2. Let's do it this way. So you have, here's the idea for today, some sort of ABC down here, right? And we confirm that with this type of price action here, where this 0 to B trend line that gets created from this and this point, and of course it can be inverted. It gets broken faster than than the C wave was created. Okay, and the same can be done in impulsions with the 5th wave. So basically, the time from the peak here to breaking this trend line was less time than from creating the turn here to the turn here. Okay, that's the idea. So now we look at this next move here as a similar kind of move. And we see in this case, oops, not calling this necessarily a 0 to B trend line, but it does provide the same idea. But at this point, you know, it was, yeah, I think the fact that we've broken out of this resistance level, when we bring back the candles, it looks decently significant enough, but maybe it's not quite confirmed yet if you want to play in the candle game. Okay, if you're playing in the candle game, we're closing below the candle levels, okay? So either way, it's unclear what this is becoming, if it's going to be similar to this, and then we're going to just go higher and sideways until we get higher. We'll see, keep watching it, but definitely watch these levels here. This rectangle has a strong support level now at around the 61,000 level. All right. And the longer it keeps fighting that, oops, the longer it keeps fighting to break below this, and the longer that this trend line, you know, it doesn't get, basically we have until the 5th of November here before we really need to make a decision on this 4-hour price chart. But I get the sense it'll happen before that. You never know. It might bore us for a few days. Maybe it doesn't have to go to the 5th, but maybe it goes to the 3rd. Again, we have a indecision type of situation happening here. We don't know yet, but the day is not quite over. So we're working now with this trend line here to see if we can break out that, and that'll determine the trajectory. Maybe it needs to go down first before it goes further high. We'll see. Watch it on a daily level. So yeah, there's your Bitcoin price chart. Next, we are going to take a look at, well, just take a quick gander at the KMD, see where we are. Oh yeah, well, 4-hour. Let's take it there. Yeah, I just wanted to note that we did get into that cloud. We channeled up there. We made it. Now we're basically fighting the cloud to see if we can stay inside it. And okay, yeah, this level of price is an important level of price. So broke it here. Now we're finding it as resistance. Broke it to the downside here, finding it as resistance now. So could be that we are falling out of this cloud, but still fighting for it. So there you have the KMD on the 4-hour time frame. Also, falling out of this channel is not ideal. That means there's a likelihood that it just keeps going a bit lower and down. So here we go. The idea of moving in this direction here on a 4-hour price chart is reasonable. And it might even 4-hourly. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know what this ends up looking like really, because we have to match it with a daily and a weekly. I get the sense that the weekly really wants to stay above this level here. Okay, that's your KMD. Now, let's move into, can look at Pirate Chain on the 4-hour, why not? We'll just take a quick stroll through everything, huh? 4-hourly Pirate Chain. Daily looks green so far, but nothing of spectacular note. 4-hour meeting some challenges, some resistance at the 20-period average. So let's see, as we get closer and closer to decision time, it's either going down or it's going up. I know that's obvious, but we're getting close at least. And as long as we stay below the 20-period average, then it means we're more likely to not, well, it doesn't matter how long we spend below there, but as we remain below the 20-period average, we're more likely to continue going further down. And if we test up here around the 3,000 Satoshis and don't hold it at the top of the Bollinger Band, we could be, fast move up, failed, and moving harder down. Let's see where this leads us. But the last few hours here had a nice reversal candle, but yeah, we'll see. And some good support here with the price. This is 4-hour time frame, buying it up here all the way down. So we're looking on a short time frame to really see where this is going to be going. Are we going further down, or is it the time to turn around? All right, Pirate Chain. Stay well out there, all you pirates. Now, speaking of staying well out there, let's go over to some of these other crypto price charts. Let's get to DERO and see that we did indeed turn around at that 20-day moving average. Here we are on the daily price chart. So the next thought being that we're basically making 50% retracements from the top. I'm guessing, let's see if we are going to make some sort of zigzag here from this level. Will bring us to about the 19,000 Satoshis level on a 1-to-1. So, I mean, seems about reasonable. If that's the case, that makes lows over here relating back to these prices, and then you would want a really strong support there. I think that's a good outcome overall long term, and it makes sense. Does that make sense for you if you are watching this DERO price chart? Yep. And this intermission candle here of this week of the 25th October, the final week of October, is an intermission candle. It's just a pause waiting candle, and then potentially going down further and finding that support, and then maybe bouncing up, but then it's going to have to be, it's going to get resistance above. And then you're really looking at that 14,000 level if that's the case. So here we are with DERO BTC. Do as you will. That's the main idea though, currently. And I get the sense we might even come back up or basically create from here some sideways activity. I don't know how long it will last, but if we go back, I guess it has some sort of relevance with these levels here, and then all of this action here, and whatever. That's just where we are, and now we have this this down, up, and down. So that's the idea there. All right, let's see. Potential at 36,000 Satoshis here for a retest, but more likely within this structure, I see this level here around like a 33,000 Satoshi, and that relates all the way back here and here. So potentially retesting this and then falling further down if it's going to be going up before down. Okay, there's DERO, BTC. And we'll just look at that USD because we have hit that $17 level. And I wanted to note that that is still at the 38.2 retracement of the move from just this wave here. Just this, wait, sorry, not just that wave. Where are we? Getting mistaken. It's the whole move. Just you can see where it came from. This distance between 78.6 and 1 is so significant because because of like it came from a very low price, 26 cents, and all the way to $26. So 78% of the 78.6% of the value is falling. It would be falling to $5. So anyway, I guess what we're looking at here is, yeah, and people might even look at this as a head and shoulders, right? But ultimately, it's looking at a connection of parts of patterns that tell us when they're combined on this side and then this side, it leads to something like that. So we could probably see something like this, and whatever it's going to do, and then it'll come down, and then I'll probably, who knows what, but these are our possibilities. Now, does it come all the way to $3 here? I don't know. And when does it do that? I don't know. This is a dollar price chart, and maybe it's set for higher prices soon or eventually, or it made a number of waves and we'll have one final impulse. But at this point, I do get a sense that we could at least see 61.8 at the $10, but because of this formation here, but at least this $13 is heavily in play at this point on the USD price chart. And I won't be surprised if somehow we get $5 prices, even with big wicks or something like that, because of just this down and up action here, right here too. So maybe it would be saved at 750 with this action here and here, but that's the idea for DERO price chart watchers. Reminding that none of this is financial advice in any way, and wishing you all the best and good luck and all of that stuff. So yeah, Shiba Inu, it's just up and down right now in its formation, but it's looking strong enough. The fact that it came back up here right now, this is just a 4-hour price chart though, and so on a daily, it's just, I don't know if it's strong enough to withstand these levels. These levels here, based on this action there. So in that case, it just might be time to go further down when it looks like something like this. So yep. Okay, that's the idea we're looking at. That's this is the better likelihood right here. That's the big likelihood there, in my opinion, but doesn't mean it has to fall from these levels. It's just, that's what's looking like. Could be wrong, could be wrong. Next, I want to take a look actually at that TRAC chart. By the way, ICX got some movement in. Cardano, I'd like to look at that too. Let's look at the TRAC chart. And definitely had its movement. Now the question becomes, is it done for a while, or is it gonna go for another, right? Like what degree, what are we looking at here? Is this here similar to this, this here, or are we gonna make something a bit more like this, which has a bit more of a degree of structure there, at least with a, it's just, you have 2 and 3 there, whereas here at best you have 1 and you have 2. So that's my sense. I'm getting the sense 1 and 2, and then here's our 3, our look for the 3, and that's the conservative look for the 3. But I do think that this is the second one, which is an Elliott wave, the third wave. And I get the sense that in that case, in that case, I might have found a new shortcut button. In that case, we are perilously close. And if we use the candles, that 2 to 4 type of trend line on this move here, just this move here. So when we take it to the 4-hour, it becomes more clear. That 2 to 4 trend line would be, let us go to, so I hope you're doing well. Maybe this is enjoyable for you. That's great. Yeah, so, and then we'll take it lines, because it's just more the idea. So this would have, oops, I'm not on that tool. Here, we can play it this way. That's the basic idea of where it is. Like the 3 is here, and then it runs the correction here to the 4, and then 5 up here, and then the 1 and 2 here, and then you get a 2 to 4 trend line, because the 4 ends there. And the reason I say it ends there again is because it, if we were to use this as the end of the 3, then we would break it with this price action here, and we wouldn't really have our 5th wave here. So this becomes the trend line that provides where the 4 is, at least in this method, neo wave style. And then now this 5th wave is created, and then it's looking to break this trend line, but it's taking longer than it took to create. It took to break this. So in that case, this one took, let's imagine it took this 5th wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 time periods, and then to create, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 time periods to break it, 10, 11, 12 to really confirm it in terms of like actually breaking it in any significant way there. And now we see that you get a retest, confirms that it's resistance, but now we're getting some decent strength in the price. So maybe we're not completely done the overall move, and in which case, you know, the idea being that it's something more like this happening. Hopefully that would be nice. Oops. Wait, style, and just play it like that. Okay, so that kind of idea, right? So in that case, then that's might be what we're having, and these levels are going to be pretty strong, especially at the 1500 level. Yeah, that would be my guess. In that case, it would have to, well, it wouldn't have to be. In fact, the 1300 level did come up for me. If we're looking at, yeah, so this is, if you're playing track, here's some couple of ideas. One idea is it could be making something here and then eventually go off. Okay, oops. The other idea is it could be making some sort of zigzag, and in that case, which is I think more likely than the 1352, but when we look with the candles, it's around 1390, so about 1400, which is really this level here, basically relating to, oops, relating to these levels right here anyway. So, oops. What's happening here? Oops. Different buttons for different things. So do you get the idea there? I hope that made sense. Anyway, we're looking to watch it here on the 4-hourly. Daily is barely, well, it's just getting started. And in which case, that's where I'm seeing from the daily is where, and I measured it with candles anyway, but basically here, and then we come around here, yeah, see, and it's around 1400. So, but in fact, that's probably just because the price right now is at 1844, but who knows where it's going to end up before the retrace happens. So let's say to make it to about 1498 or 1488 or 1500, we would be retracing on a closing basis on the daily to 1900 Satoshis, to 1930 Satoshis. Otherwise, if we're only going to like 1840, 1850 on a closing basis, or even if we stay just at this 1800 on a closing basis, then we get into like the mid 1300s. So anyway, that's the kind of idea that I'm having right now for this. And then it would play its way out down to that level, wherever that'll be, and then it'll do its bounce. And then when it's time for the fifth wave, then we go for fifth wave. Now, that's where we're really hoping it'll be a nice, long, drawn out, extended, and it can hit to 3,000 Satoshis and maybe even based on previous price action, it can hit, you know, wow, even 3,500, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case yet. We'll see. 3,000 is already a stretch. 2,500 is hopeful. But at this point, we see that, okay, well, I measured it earlier with the candles, and I don't know how it became like this. It was crawling on the daily. I don't even remember. Maybe it just moved. So we'll take it again on the weekly and just the closing for now, and say that when I, oops, delete, move. I get you there. So we are trying to break it on a weekly, but it would have to hold above there. And that's just the closing price. When we get the wicks there, that stayed properly and that stayed properly. We broke with a wick, but this one is resisting. So we'll see, but this bodes well overall. Now, am I saying that we're making a correction yet? We might not even be making a correction yet on a weekly price chart. So this might just be intermediate on, let's say, the daily. And on the daily, we might still be in this third wave. We might still, let's call it, be doing one of, what was I saying? This isn't our primary, but whatever. We might still be doing one of these. And I don't know if that's how it's going to look, but whatever, you know, doesn't really matter. Or even if it's something like this. Okay, what I'm saying is that this on a daily level, we might not even really be doing much other than participating in part of the third wave in a corrective move, maybe but yeah, it's just, that's why it's hard to really say at this point. And hope you know, hope you're enjoying it. Hope it's making sense. That's the basic idea. So at this point, there is considerable resistance that is fighting through, so it makes sense based on these previous levels here that it's touching. So is it just going to come back down and make a longer correction that takes more time? Or are we in the midst of a stronger bull run? Let's keep watching. All right. Market knows best. Here we go. That's TRAC BTC. And what was the other one? Yeah, I wanted to show, well, ICX haven't really looked at too closely, but I've been watching that it has been moving. Daily price chart here. We had that time where we had the trend line here. We broke out of it. This daily price, a lot of days happened since then. We moved up. We hit the resistance of that trend line that was formed here from these two touch points and broken here. Again, we found, so it was resistance, came down. Again, we found more resistance here just recently in October. And it was trying to break that longer downturn trend line, which was also resistance back here and at the previous high. So there you go. And now here we are making another return up. But now the question is meeting strong resistance here at these levels here, relating to these levels here. What's going to happen? And well, so far there's potential here, but there's also, you know, well, both directions really. You're just at such a middling level of price action right now. Even over here, you see back here, all this middling level of price action. So if you can get up above that, I think that's good for reaching up to the 5,000 Satoshis. And based on this uptrending line, that could be done, right? And without having to break above it. So that's possible, in which case we're really looking for better ICX prices against BTC, which is a good sign for the ICX BTC chart watchers who like to watch the price go up. All right, good. Next. Want to see what it looks like on a weekly? All right, we've gone this far. Hope you're enjoying yourself. What does it look like? Yeah, I'm saying bias to the upside at this point. Let's break this downtrend. In case we go down before up, then I have bias to touch this trend line here as a support. And yeah, 3,000 Satoshi is really 3,100 as a strong desire for support. If not hitting, you know, we'll see. Anyway, cool. ICX on a weekly. Now, anything else specifically? THETA is starting to move. We can keep more of an eye on that as well. THETA BTC. Yep. Nice resistance at our previous channeling from back here. Now it's not perfect, but there you go. Interesting. Okay. There's your THETA. Look for it to come around. This is a weekly price chart, by the way. So it's made some moves recently, and it might need to calm down for a bit of a moment here and round out before going higher again and looking at you know, 1,500 Satoshi levels. Sorry, 15,000 Satoshis. Sorry. Okay, that's the idea there. We are at the next chart. I think we're done for now. Oh, ADA, right. Yeah, just the question with ADA here on the weekly price chart is, what are we looking at here? Like from the, if we're looking at just this pure move as an impulse, I mean, we have clearly a 1, 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. If you want to count it like that, it might expand and do other things, and it might not be. It could be some sort of ABC action as a correction in the upward direction. So I don't know really what this formation is or means, but essentially it looks like we can create a 2 to 4 trend line if this is what we're playing, and it is the 1 up to the 1 wave is the same as external relationship as the 3 plus the 5 external relationship 1 to 1. So you know, when I say the 3 and the 5 and the 1 and all these things, that's just based on this way of counting it. It might not actually be this and all that, but this, firstly, this wave here, it takes longer again to break the 2 to 4 trend line. So if we say 1, 2, 3 weeks to create, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 7 weeks to break, what does that mean? Maybe we're not quite done, or maybe this is not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or something else. So there you have the ADA price chart. We're playing below these levels though, but interestingly, I do think this one might come into play here, which is about 2,900 Satoshis here. So, which would make sense if you're going to hold the 3,000, why not shake people out at 2,900? And it relates again over here to this one wave here. So possible, but at that point, why not go lower? Maybe it's just it's going to react there and go higher as Bitcoin's higher, and then the ADA USD valuation goes quite nice and high, but then we come down for more dump in a more bear market time. Does that make sense? Okay, well, anyway, that's an idea, and I hope it makes sense in one form or fashion. Whether it's right or not, I don't know. We will find out. Stay with me, and that makes my heart feel good. I like that feeling I just had in my heart when I said, stay with me. And I had the thought of you staying with me. So if you're still here watching this, much love and appreciation. And I hope it's a value. Obviously it is doing something for you if you're still watching this. I think I'm done with this video, and love, peace, happiness to you. And until next time, goodbye.